Hey guys, and welcome back to Return to the Wild and beautiful Homer, Alaska. Out here in the cold peninsula, the Kenai Peninsula in fact. And I've got a bit of a flight in store for you today. It's a little bit longer with a bit of a stop in it than usual, so we're already up and running. We've done all our pre-flights for us, so we are good to go. We're about to go taxi, so we're going to get ourselves on the move. Let's get ourselves back inside the cockpit. And why is my navigation system turned off? That's awkward. There we go. Okie dokie, we're on 122.7, which is the local Unicom here for Homer. Homer traffic, November 3038, taxiing for departure. Gonna be runway 03. Let's get ourselves moving here, shall we? There we go. Taxi ourselves down to the runway, get ourselves set for departure, and we're out of here. We are off today to Quartz Creek, which is a little place over towards Seaward. But on the way, we are stopping off to drop some supplies at Barber Cabin, which is a hunting stop-off for a lot of the trips. So we're dropping some supplies into the cabin, and then we're dropping down to Quartz Creek, where we've got a charter elsewhere, but that'll be for another day. So our job today is to take supplies up to... where the hell's the taxiway? There it is. Our job is to take the supplies out to Barber Cabin and head on across to Quartz Creek. So it's a bit of a flight today. We don't need to talk to Anchorage Center because we are in below the airspace, I should say. And the mountains we're skirting along Kenai Peninsula allow us to not bother. Let's have a look. Snow kicking up here. Homer traffic, November 3038 is entering runway 3 for departure to the east. Flaps set for takeoff. Entering the active. There we go. And we are rolling. Come on. Torque steer to the left as always. Winds are basically calm. We've got about 2 or 3 knots, so it's really mild for us today. And we're up. Let's maintain engine power for departure so we don't risk loss of power. Pitot heat's on in this weather. We're at freezing, so we want to make sure our instruments are behaving themselves. I would also like to finally welcome you to the world of Flight Simulator maxed out. Yeah, it's an old game, but at the same time, even maxed out, it looks gorgeous with the Orbex scenery. We're running about 60 FPS, everything is cranked to full. It only took 10 years after release and a Ryzen 2700 and a RTX 2070 to make this happen, but hey, I'm not going to argue. P3D 64-bit makes it look gorgeous, so knock our manifold down to climb right now. Get some trim in there. Oh, bit much trim. This is why you shouldn't trim whilst holding the controls, folks. Get an RPM into the green arc where we want it. Knock the fuel mixture off a little bit. And we're roughly on track here, so we're going to set ourselves up for the flight, which includes our autopilot. We want to be on our GPS hold because we're going to save ourselves some time. Why did the thing not open? Okay, it's being weird. We'll do this the old-fashioned way. Okay, there it is. No, we don't want you. We want this. So we want to have nav hold, altitude hold, and we are set on. So, yeah, autopilot's taking control of the aircraft. We're going to knock our climb power down in just a minute. We're going to be looking for about 5,000 feet for this run. So we'll set ourselves to 5 on the GPS, or the autopilot I should say. We'll take off our landing lights, which we had on for departure. Put our yoke back on. And we're in a good climb right now. coming up about 600 feet per minute. Airspeed is looking good. We're holding about 90 knots to climb. Just coming down a little bit. Give it a little bit more throttle. Get your manifold within 25 inches. There we go. Nice balanced 90 knot climb. Gonna go in for best climb rate at the moment on the 207. So we have got some terrain up in the near future, so we need to keep an eye on that. We'll knock our climb rate down to about 500 feet per minute. No need to rush matters. Give us a little best speed climb. So if we look at the computer, we're looking at about 40 minutes or 48 minutes at this speed, but we'll pick up and of course it'll drop down as we're at cruise. It'll be a lot quicker than that. Right now we're climbing, so we'll be expecting to be about 125 knots when we're actually on cruise, so about here actually. That's what we budgeted for at least. So we're coming through 3,000 feet. We'll level off at about 3,500 for now. No need to climb yet. Weather's getting a little bit worse. I'd like to keep some visual contact with the ground, especially with how bad conditions are getting. It's whiting out up here in the plane. So yeah, we want to maintain some ground visual. We are flying VFR today. Set down there a little farm or something. Okay, that's starting to white out a lot. I'm going to call this down to 3,000 for now. We'll call this good enough because I don't want to go too high. With VFR we can really pick our altitude here, but I want to make sure I can see where I'm going. Like I said, we're just to the south of the anchorage control zone, so the peninsula we're on is outside that control zone. We're in uncontrolled airspace, and our biggest concern right now is terrain. White sky, white ground. Welcome to Alaska in the winter, and how bad that could be. Outside the plane, in fact. Yeah, look at that. White as heck. I have not flown in the sim or in real life for quite some time now. It's been a couple of months and I am rusty, but I wanted to get back in, especially for some winter wonderland up in the beauties of Alaska. And I've missed it, quite honestly. It's been pretty fun. Now we'll knock our speed down here. Looking about 20 inches on the manifold. Keep ourselves optimized here. Where is my EGT? Let's get our mixture set nicely. That's looking good. Okay, so we're picking up speed over 140 miles an hour, about 125 knots, as I said, indicated, which is giving us a ground speed of 126. The winds are low. And now we're expecting 30 minutes, so told you it'll be a lot quicker. We do have to make the stop off though at Barber Cabin, which might be a little bit harder to find in this weather based on current projections. We are looking at this. Let me just pull this up for you. That did not want to work. There we go. Okay, so flying along the peninsula here, past this lake, our destination should be just up ahead of us. Put terrain on. That's what we're flying past, a large landmass of the Kenai Peninsula. It's pretty mountainous. We should be flying along the lowlands, so it shouldn't be a humongous problem for us, but you can see the terrain is rising below us, so we need to be observant to that. But the cabin we're looking for is just in a valley, just on the approach to Cooper Landing, which is just north of Quartz Creek. So we should have some good visual indicators on the ground once we get a little bit closer to allow us to work out where we're going. You can see the mountains starting to form over there. And right now, aircraft is looking good. Our systems are in the green. Everything is looking good. Cylinder head temperatures, oil pressures, or temperatures. Manifold is good. UGT is good. Fuel flow is great. Burning 81 gallons an hour. 11.1, I should say. That's how much we have remaining, 81. Altitude's feeling good. And we are en route. It's been a while, it really has, and I've missed my Return to the Wild series. I've missed flying, and I've just not had the opportunity. The biggest problem for me there, and this is going to get a little chatty, was that I rebuilt my computer in October. Just for my birthday, I managed to get together a Asus X470 Pro motherboard, 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance DDR4, and a Ryzen 2700X, which was a monster. That allowed the PC to run so well. I've been so happy. It's been making my work so much easier recording for YouTube. And it also made Flightsim run a billion times better. It only took a 2700X to make Flightsim behave itself. Who knew? But I like it pretty, so I'd rather not sacrifice looks for performance. Which, of course, in this case you can see. The looks are gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. It is. I can't wait for Flightsim 2020. That's another thing, yes. I can't wait for FS 2020. That's going to be so sick. I'm super excited. I just hope that it gives the bush areas of the world, like this, a similar visual treatment where it looks just as good. And look down there. That's what we're expecting in the cabin. In the summer, the cabin would be arriving after servicing, would be requiring a seaplane. But it's frozen over in the winter, which allows us to land on our wheels. It's going to be sketchy, but we'll do it. But no, FS 2020, as long as it gives the bush areas the same real good look that it gives to GA flying and Big Iron flying, it should be super. I'm looking forward to it. My type of flying is low, is slow, is small planes, it's bad conditions. If I can do that, I'll be super happy. But yeah, like I said, rebuilt the computer, and then more recently, in November, I managed to put in my RTX 2070 Super Ventus. So my computer is now an absolute fire-breathing dragon, which has been the first time in a long time it's been this powerful. And I'm so excited. It's making this sort of thing great, but I had to reinstall Flightsim because when I rebuild the computer, I had to reinstall the OS. I had to reinstall a bunch of programs that I need to use for recording, editing, and games. Whilst most of them were on different drives, and I could just resource them. P3D I need to reinstall, and I needed to reinstall my add-ons, so that's taken some time. It's not a one-day job. Reinstalling an over 130 gig sort of Flightsim is a pain in the backside. But it definitely makes for a beautiful, worthwhile experience once you get up there. So, is this showing us where we need to go yet? No, that's the lake we'll be going past. So we're just up from there right now. 25 minutes left on the clock. But that's us direct into Quartz Creek, which is not relevant. We shouldn't be taking too long though otherwise. So we're heading along now, quite nicely. Do need to get the the Milvis Beaver reinstalled. That is a phenomenal plane, especially flying up in Alaska. And I would love to cruise along at 100 knots with that thing. Doing some nice little water landings. A lot of the areas that have been complete pains in the sim, like the Seattle, Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver Triangle, which is notoriously bad for performance. Much, much better. Flight simmers will know that performance is always one of those big factors, and I'm happy to say I could crank this thing to maximum and get 30 FPS in busy areas. That's not bad. That is good. Out here I'm getting 50, 60 with everything maxed out, literally everything maxed out. I'm hitting 50, 60 FPS, and that I'm super happy with. That's ideal. Exactly what I want. But the super busy areas, like places like Anchorage, the triangle between Oregon, Portland, Seattle and Vancouver, it's horrendous normally. Lots of nice airports there, especially out in the countryside, little GA fields. That's, again, playable now. Which, yeah, like I say, I value the looks of the sim as much as the performance. And I really want it to look as good as it can and perform. Since reinstalling, I've not had to tweak a single file. Normally I'd be telling you, oh, I've tweaked this, I've tweaked that, I've fiddled this file, I've fiddled this max draw, max load. No, no tweaks. No stutters either, which I used to have like crazy before, which I had to kind of screw with the settings for, but now it's just performing. And this makes me nervous as all potato. We're in full-on IMC conditions. Instrument meteorological conditions. I cannot see a single thing. The terrain, I believe, is low enough that I should be fine. Yep, there it is, down below us. It's concerning. I'll be honest, very concerning. You just, yeah, there's a lot of it, and I don't want to get into too much trouble with the ground. I just wish I could actually see packages and stuff in there. Orbex themselves are bringing out their own cargo pilot flying game mode that attaches to the sim, where you'll be able to pick up cargo and things from airports, which you'll see visually on the ground. You'll be able to load the cargo to your aircraft and passengers and things, go flying places. It's definitely designed more for the GA bush type flying, which is great. I will look forward to doing that. Hopefully make a lot of things exciting. Give purpose to specific routes. Of course, I still do FS Economy, and that's always fantastic. Gives you reasons to go places. But I think one of the things I really enjoy about this Return to the Wild series is I get to just experiment and go where I want to, think up a story, and add some roleplay to things. Because that's the one thing that I think has always been missing from the sim in a lot of cases, is the reason. And a lot of these games give you a reason, but when you're role-playing, you give yourself the reason. You can tell yourself where you want to go and how you want to fly. Right, I'm going to just kick us back up to climb performance again. I'm taking us up a little bit. Another 500 feet just for safety's sake. So we're just climbing through this next cloud. Wish I could see the wings to make sure we haven't got any icing. Close the air vents. Don't know why they're still open. Can't feel the cold when it's a simulator. But we've got the Kenai Peninsula over there. Everything's going to white out here in a moment. Should I open the window? Oh god. No, no, no. Yeah, thank you. Go away. If you wonder what all the creaking sounds taxiing are, or the wind sounds there, or the airframe creaking in the air, A2A AccuFeel. It adds the audio, shall we say, physics from their AccuSim aircraft to any aircraft you want to fly. I recommend it to any P3D or Flightsim X user. Best add-on you can get. It just enhances the whole thing. Really adds to the experience. So, you know, you couple Orbex scenery with the Albio 207 that I'm flying, A2A AccuFeel, and you suddenly have a whole visual, visceral experience in the sim that looks gorgeous in terms of the ground you're flying over. The aircraft are really pretty, and you have more realistic sounds to what you'd hear in real life. You know, aircraft creak and groan and moan. You'll hear the wind sound change as you bank in real life. So as you change the direction of the airflow, and the airflow changes over the wing surface and the body of the aircraft, you'll hear it differently, and that makes a huge difference. So we're coming to a lake here. This one being inland is frozen, I think. Just up ahead of us. Shouldn't be too bad. We are just coming towards the mountains we need to worry about. These are a little bit higher. So we're going to have to go up a little. That's my transponder, not my altitude knob. Bethel! Yeah, that's what we're starting to get into, the foothills now, the peninsula. And we're starting to get towards where we're heading. I think that'll be Kenai up there on the outside. Actually, no, it isn't Kenai. That'll be up to the north. I'm geographically challenged as always. We're about 40 nautical miles out now, and I'm trying to get the reference here, but it's just going to be difficult in terms of visuals. Yeah, so that's where we're heading, and the lake we're heading to is about here. So we're going to be literally 5 miles or so from our destination once we arrive at the cabin, but it's getting through these foothills ahead of us that will be the interesting challenge. Yeah, there we go, just ahead of us. First lake we're heading over. There are a couple of cabins on the north side of that, northeast side. Yeah, flying in the mountains in the winter in Alaska, dangerous, scary. I mentioned it before, but the snow blindness is a major problem. You've got snow falling, you've got white clouds, white skies, white terrain. When the sky and the terrain are the same color and you're flying in valleys, it can get very dangerous very fast. especially as we get into these foothills. There's a lot of cloud. I'm gonna have to be on my toes in case we get any issues. Not got much time to react when things go wrong out here, even in the simulator. Especially when you start to get into mountainous regions. I don't particularly want to go too high because I will lose speed, and that will be a problem. No, that's not good. Get the EGT back up again. There we go. EGT is there. Exhaust gas temperature. Our combustion ratio is best essentially when that's hottest. So the higher the EGT is the peak mixture. So we lean the mixture off by either listening to the sound of the engine or looking at the exhaust gas temperature gauge, and that tells us the fuel air mixture we're getting in the aircraft. So the condition lever, the red one there, is what we pull back until that maxes out or the engine sounds loudest. And here's the concerning part. Flying through this towards those mountains. Please let me see the other side. Please. I am prepared to disengage autopilot immediately and yank and bank, but I think we're okay so far. Now things get interesting. I think I see terrain ahead of us that's going to be above us, so we are going to want to come up to 5. Give it some more juice. We've got the fuel in the tanks. Do a cruise climb, but we need to maintain our airspeed because I don't want this to take too long. So we're not being economical today, we're being practical. I'm not paying for this gas, I don't have to worry. Okay. All the cloud is right in our flight path so far. Keep us moving. Increase the shadowing distance on the simulator, it looks quite pretty. I might add cloud shadowing back in again. I haven't had that one checked ever on the sim because of its impact, but maybe now we can go with it and see what it looks like. We have got terrain shadowing on. Extend the distance. May experience performance issues. I said no in Ryzen. And hovering over the autopilot disengage. I see terrain. It's below us, we're okay. But just... Okay, we're leveling off at 5. We should be good here to slip through. That's looking pretty high over there, actually. Oh, we're heading into the danger zone. And I can see skyline above me, so we're going to keep going up. 6.5. And this might need to be a bit more of an aggressive climb. This is me maxing out the throttle, by the way, and I'm only hitting 25 inches because obviously with altitude, this not being a turbocharged aircraft, we do lose performance. If we had a turbocharger, which I could theoretically add in the workshop, aka change the actual command lines of the aircraft and give it a turbo. If we were turbocharged, we'd be able to operate at altitude a lot better, which in Alaska I think is almost a freaking necessity. Come on, no mountains, no mountains. Mountains bad. Mountains bad. Now below me, in front of me, everywhere left, right and centre. Get ready to disengage and bank right, it's going to be. Looking across to my side, we've got a valley there, so we'll be banking right if we need to. There's the terrain. Okay, we're going to be clear, I think. Yeah. We're getting into some taller locations right now. 6,000 feet. Come on, EGT, do me a favour. There we go. We're going to deviate from flight path here to make things more economical. In terms of duration of flight. 13 minutes remaining, so we're on approach now. Come on, map. Let's see the map. Okay, our lake should be there. No, that's the one. That's the one we're heading to. Yeah, that is our lake. Okay, so we have visual on it on the GPS. That's good. That's Barber Lake. And we've got terrain ahead of us, but I think we'll head between the two peaks there, so we're good. This is nerve-wracking. Not gonna lie. Making sure I'm high enough, but low enough to maintain my airspeed. I could weave it out of mountains, but it'll take me much longer overall. Okay. So we're going to start lining up our approach. There should be a valley we're heading through, then we'll drop down from Cooper Landing straight to Quartz Creek. Happy days. Everyone gets paid. Right now we're clocking at about 150 knots ground speed. That is doing good. 125, 130 knots. Tailwind's picked up then. We've got a tailwind in the mountains, which I'm loving. I'm not going to say no to a tailwind. Everybody loves a good tailwind. Tailwinds are fantastic. So that's our lake, I believe. I have to find the cabin first. Turn that on there, so we can see where we're going. We're looking for the Green Valley. Oof. So hard to see anything. I will say using the GPS to get myself between larger airports where we have fixed coordinates is useful. Allows me to concentrate a lot less on navigation and more on the actual flying, especially a terrain like this, where I really want to let the computer do some of the work. It is the modern day age after all. Old school skills are great to have when I exercise mine regularly, but when you've got to keep your eyes on an absolute swivel like this, it is a pleasure to have a computer to help you along the way. Where are we? Okay. Got to be very vigilant to these bigger peaks in our way. Come on, let me see what's up ahead of me. Ready to... We're going to be going to port if we see anything here. No, we're good so far. There's a peak below us. Let's crane our necks a little bit. There we go. We'll sit up in the seat a little bit more. We should be able to clear that. And if not, we're close. Switching over to heading hold. And if I switch across to my Stream Deck Flightsim autopilot panel, I should be able to go boop. Is it working? No, it's not. I managed to reprogram the keys from the reinstall. Take ourselves just a little bit towards that gap in the mountainside. Airspeed's still looking good. We're safe right now. Clear this and we should be over the valley, so we should be dropping down as soon as we clear this peak. Not sure if the mountains are falling away from me or my nose is lifting. Feels like my nose is lifting, but it doesn't quite feel like that just yet. Okay, that's our valley off there. That's what we're looking for, I think. That would be us. Yeah, because Quartz Landing's there. That will be us. Perfect. Okay. Autopilot disengage. We're going to bring the throttle back, the nose down. Let the computer take all the heavy lifting whilst we now begin to think about what we're going to put this plane on. Because So that's going to be a trickier proposition, working out where I'm putting this thing. Let's get a descent started. Drop the engine down. Keep it warmer, though. No carb heat to worry about in this aircraft. It's rejected, not carbureted. Otherwise, I'd be slamming the carb heat on now when the engine goes back to idle. Oh, we're getting a bit fast. Okay. That will be us over there. So let's bank across. This valley ahead of us. And we're looking on the north... what's the direction we're looking at? We're about the east side of the lake, which should be just about here. We're looking for Barber Cabin. Okay, so... yes, I'm well aware we're losing power because Mitch is leaning correctly. Bugger off, flight tips. I don't need you. I'm at 5,000 feet. Leave me alone. I'm idled. Alright, let's begin our descent down towards the lake. We're going to have to go over it, swing around, and come back. Because I need to visual the cabin first. To know where to land. And check for any obstructions on the ice. Should be just ahead of us. I think that's it. Go away. I don't care. Okay, approach is good. Keep ourselves constant. And we shouldn't be too long here. That's the lake up ahead of us. The big expanse there between the two tree lines, there and there. Go away, Tips. Thank you. Sod off. Okay. Put some trim in here to help neutralize the forces on the yoke for me. Never fly with the trim. That's a big mistake. Always fly with the yoke. Adjust your attitude. And then use the trim to take the pressure off the controls. Never just literally up and down on the trim to actually fly the aircraft. Go away! Bug hell off! Right. Come on. Nice and gentle. Let's see if we can spot this cabin on our first pass. That'll be helpful. Nice clear run on the lake though. Should give us plenty of room. Not that we need a huge amount, but it helps. Let's drop some altitude here. We're not going to see anything from up here. Yes, yes, yes. Congratulations, you're telling me things I don't need to know. Kind of hefty nose down attitude right now, descending pretty quickly, but we're keeping our airspeed down. There we go. Where are you, cabin? Where are you? Shut up! Okay. We'll put some flaps out. We can slow down here and pull up and take a look around. Should see smoke, hopefully. Place is meant to be occupied. There we go. Give myself a notch of flaps. Shut up. Trying to maintain visual whilst keeping myself airborne. I don't see no cabins. I don't see a cabin. Yo, cabin, where you at? There it is. There it is, down there. Okay, we're good. That's how you look out your aircraft window whilst going forwards. Okay, flaps up. We'll swing around, make our approach, and we should be good to go. Bring it over towards the mountainside a bit. Should be as easy as 1, 2, 3. We want to come towards the mountain this way rather than beginning our turn towards it because we don't know how tight the turn we'll be able to make. So we give ourselves maximum room by flying as close to this as possible. We'll hit this rocky outcropping and we'll spin it around. There we go. Okay. Keep some throttling here. Bit tight, but it's cold, it's not too hot, so kill the throttle. So let the airspeed come down, we'll slip it a little bit so we can lose some altitude and not gain speed. We'd want that. Deploy some landing flaps and we should be good to come in here. We're basically dead on course right now. We'll keep the slip going, we'll keep the nose down to maintain speed though. Which allows us to drop right down here and maximize our approach efficiency onto the lake. Give it some gas. We're good. Okay, we're great here. We are good. Give it some gas. Alright, making this approach nice and gentle. Oh, like a baby's bottom. Like a baby's bottom. Let's get those flaps up. And that is our cabin dead ahead. What a beautiful approach. Ice is nice and packed. It already told us it's about 2 meters deep on the lake before we head up here. Okie dokie. There's a boat frozen in the water. Alright, we are going to get ourselves unloaded and turned around. And we'll be back in just a few moments. Hey folks, we're back and we've loaded it, or unloaded I should say, everything we need to get rid of. And we are about to get ourselves off from the lake here and back on course to our destination. So let's get past the frozen boat and the buoy. Back on track and we're out of here. Guys, we're very happy to get the food and supplies, helps them get through the winter. Fire starters, canned food, stuff that will just last if they ever get snowed in. So, let's get ourselves off the ice. And we are back airborne. Flaps up. So it should be a case now, just fly to the end of the valley here, take a right, pass Cooper Landing, and we're into Quartz Creek. And this should be us wrapped up nice and sorted. Let's knock our RPM down a little bit. And set ourselves to a reasonable cruise climb. We don't have too far to go here. Mission accomplished en route. And it should be down to Quartz Landing to get ourselves fueled up and ready for our next job. So once we head into the main valley here, it is this way. And we are not far away at all, minutes in fact. Oh, we're putting down on a real airport this time. I say real airport. Quartz Creek is pretty small, but it's technically an airfield. Counts. So this should be us good now. We're on track. We'll hit the actual inlet, which is salt water and should be mostly unfrozen. We've got the main artery here heading down towards Quartz Creek. One of the few roads in the actual region. Barber Lake is actually about 2 miles away from the road with no trail access, so we're the only way in and out. Seaplanes in the summer and landing on the ice in the winter. A couple of months either side where it's not frozen but it's not clear, so that's when they're going to have to survive for a while. not a lot of improvised landing areas around the region to actually put down in. So looks like a lot of the inlet is actually frozen still. And Quartz Creek for us should be just about here. So it should be a fairly simple approach. We'll knock our speed down a little bit. We don't need to be cruising in here at a bazillion miles an hour. About 5 nautical miles out. So our job is to look for our approach. There should be a choke point in the estuary, which is about there, which I'd say is about here. And we're looking for basically just there is where it should be. And that's where it should be. I've never seen this place before in my life. Oh, I need to change radio frequency. Quartz Creek traffic, November 3038, coming approach, going to be approaching from the south. No one's calling in, so that's a straight ahead. Actually, I was definitely off target saying it was over there. It was me saying it was right here, and it's right there. Quartz Creek traffic, Cessna, November 3038. Runway in sight, base for final, runway 3. There we are. There's no one around. Not much to be too concerned about. Let's knock our speed down, get ready for flaps. Oh, hi, Mountain. Funny to see you there. I'm taking a wide, leisurely pattern. That is our flaps coming in. The runway should be just behind my door pillar. There we go. We are rather high up. That is a problem. Nothing this can't fix, though. Quartz Creek traffic, November 3038, turning final, runway 3. Yeah, this is a bit steep. This is a bit steep. This is hella steep. Can I make it work? Yes, I can make it work. I can make it hella work. Bit of a slip and slide going on. Oh, it's like I've never lost it. I've always had it. It's always been there. Once just like riding a bicycle? Yeah, never forget how to ride a bicycle. Which is ironic coming from the girl who's broken 3 bones this year riding a bicycle. Don't blame me. Blame fate and Scotland and Ireland and everything else. There we go. Quartz Creek traffic, Cessna November 3038 is taxiing for parking. Will advise clear of active. Oh, the lighting's very pretty right now. Let's get ourselves back up here, check it in the parking area, and we're gonna call it. It's been a fun little flight, bringing it into Barber Lake and the little cabin. And turns out, once you learn to fly bush planes, you don't forget. Including ridiculous slipping approaches to airports because you just decide to approach the pattern way too high and you're a bit of a cowboy. Eh. What you don't realise though is that that was entirely calculated and something I know how to do. So it might have looked like I was being like, YOLO, let's just slip it in there. Quartz Creek traffic, November 3038, clear of active. Let's bring it up to the FBO here. Now, I know how to slip an aircraft, I know how to crab. So, to me, that was a measured way of dealing with it rather than having to go around. Okay, and we are good. And we're down. Well, folks, that was us and the Quartz Creek run, including the Barber Lake cabin. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the little flight today. Had a good little chat, haven't we? And we've caught up with some beautiful weather. snow, treacherous mountains, icy lakes, and me being cocky. But hey, either way, we had fun. So thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Bye.